Hey y'all, Clay here, and I wanted to go over exactly how to structure a Facebook ad for your home improvement business based off of an ad that we have that's just going absolutely gangbusters right now. And I'm going to break it down into the concepts that I go over in the book I wrote, The Home Improvement Lead Generation Secrets, going over basically ad copy. So I'm going to break it down by those elements and kind of show you guys exactly how that works in real time and some of the results that you'll get from that, right? So basically, to give you a little bit of an overview of what the ad copy breakdown looks like, is you start off with five total components, right? And what that breaks down into is the ad creative, the headline, the ad copy, the button, and then the description. So I'm going to kind of break this ad down by those elements to show you exactly what they look like in practice and how it works, right? So in this case, we're working with a tiny home builder. I'm going to blur their name out just so that you guys aren't going to go harass them or opt into everything or whatever, because people apparently do that. But I want to show you first off the offer that we have going on. And this is a really good offer because they're one of the few companies that can offer $0 down financing. And so what we basically are doing is just going straight for that offer. Now, in some cases, and in fact, in a lot of cases, you want to educate people first, but we've actually seen this one work really well going to cold audiences. So everything that we're getting from this ad is going to people that have never interacted with the brand before, people that have never really heard of this company, but are interested in what they have to offer, which is tiny homes. And the really, really cool part is that we're generating leads. We've generated like probably 650 leads at this point, for only, around 1,500 or so dollars of the money that's been going into these ads. So super, super cheap cost per lead. And they've actually been converting really well, closed like 3 new jobs in the last couple of weeks, and it's just been awesome. So now let's go ahead and just dive in, right? So basically, the first thing that we have here is the ad creative, and that's going to be either an image or a video. In this case, we used a video that our agency actually put together. And basically what it is just a super simple kind of overview of the tiny home that they built and so forth, right? So it's super simple, has some fun music. It's pretty just easy. It's not talking and crazy and whatever. But that's the video that we've actually seen convert the best so far. We've been using images also that have been doing really, really well. But based off of the cost per lead, this is the one that has performed absolutely the best so far. Now, the next thing that we're going to go into is, this kind of grabs their attention, pulls them in. And the next thing is the headline, right? And so that is the little section at the bottom of the video on the left-hand side that is basically the way that gives them a little bit more context, right? And so here we just decided to go straight for the offer because it is so good and it has been converting really, really well. So basically all it says is get your tiny home with $0 down financing and a couple of little emojis and a finger pointing at the button. Pretty simple. Sometimes you're going to want to go with a little bit more curiosity or the value that's on the landing page. But in this case, just going straight for the offer has worked really, really well. Next, we have the ad copy itself that is then broken down into 4 components. So I'll kind of break that down for you. So basically what we have here is we start off with a attention grabber, which is basically, the way that we identify the audience and give them a way of going like, oh, that's me, right? So they've watched the video, they looked at the headline, they're like, oh, cool, okay. And then they go up to the copy and it says California residents, and we're targeting specifically California residents. It's like, oh, awesome. Okay, I live in California. So that is the first step, is to really grab their attention and give them something to identify with. The next thing you're going to do is go into their pain points, right? So get away from the hustle and bustle or reduce your living expenses by going tiny. Now, right now, there's a lot of people who are wanting to get out of big cities. We've seen a huge spike in new loan applications for homes in suburban areas. And we've also seen people wanting to downsize. We've seen people moving from, kind of larger, more expensive areas. So like the Bay Area, San Francisco, the, just surrounding areas of that, wanting to move into lower costs of living areas. So places like where I live, Sacramento, and kind of the surrounding areas, so that they can commute there, get the good salary, and then, go back home at their affordable mortgage. And so what we're actually doing here is hitting on those pain points of people wanting to get away from the cities or the busyness of it, people that might want to kind of be a little bit more simplistic with their lives, and then people that also want to reduce their living expenses, right? So that's pretty much all we did here in regards to the pain points. Sometimes we'll dig in the knife a little bit more, which means kind of like focus more in and really paint a visual picture of the real pain point that they're dealing with. But here we just go kind of right into a little bit of our offer and then a little bit more of kind of understanding their pain points, right? So the next part is, so with our $0 down finance options, you can now get your perfect tiny home designed, built, and delivered at no cost to you until the keys are in your hand, right? So this is a really good one because what we're doing is we're bringing out a couple of different things. We're showing them immediately the offer, $0 down financing, and now they can get their perfect tiny home designed, built, and delivered. So that means that no matter where they're located, we can get it to them. They don't have to go to a trailer and pick it up and all this crazy stuff, right? And then it's also showing that it's custom designed, it's not stock, things along those lines. So the next section, we then go to get your new tiny home that you can live in or rent out, already saving you money before you have to make any payments, right? So the next part is kind of showing more about the finances, people worrying about like, oh, well, I don't want to make payments. And then they're still building it for months and months on end. They don't have to pay anything until it's in their hands. And in a lot of cases, people rent it out. So that's why we said, or rent out, already saving you money before you have to make your payments. The savings or rent that you gain from this asset alone more than pays for itself, blah, blah, blah. So this is a little bit more of like the benefits, right? So we're giving them reasons on what are the benefits of this. So basically the structure is now grab their attention, hit their pain points, and then go into the solution that you offer, right? So the solution that we're offering here is obviously a tiny home with $0 down financing. And so now we're really diving deep into what that solution does and how it solves their problems. So then we add actually a little bit of urgency here, which is a little bit more of kind of an advanced technique. So we're only able to offer this in select zip codes and only have room for 10 new tiny homes right now before we are booked up, right? So what we're doing here is giving people a reason to see if they qualify because it's not available everywhere. Then we're also giving people urgency because if they want a tiny home, they want it quickly. In many cases, if they're ready to take action now, they're looking at $0 down financing. And so we're telling them, hey, we only have limited spots left before we book up. And so we're not going to be able to make them for a while. And so this is just kind of creating a little bit of urgency for them to take action. Now, the next part is where we go into it in our breakdown, where it's to see if they qualify. And so basically what that is the call to action. And so that is where you tell them exactly what you want them to do next. So we've grabbed their attention, we've hit their pain points, we've offered them the solution, and now we're telling them exactly what to do to take action, right? And that is called the call to action, or CTA, as a lot of people call it. So here it is to see if you qualify for $0 down financing, just click the button below. But hurry, we've already gotten dozens of inquiries from all over the state and we'll be completely booked up very soon, right? So a little bit more urgency here, telling me exactly what to do, clicking the button below, which, depending on where it's placed, it won't always be below. We have it placed where it always will be. But regardless, we have that. And then we have a last little kind of anticipating objections, right? So it's a little bit more of that solution and their pain points and a mix of, okay, we know about their pain points and kind of what's going on. And so we're going to now offer them the solution and create a little bit of the getting rid of that objection there. So a lot of people are worried about where they place it. And so what we do is we basically, immediately address that. So they're thinking about clicking, they're like, but where am I going to place this thing? Are you worried about where you're going to place it? Well, don't worry. You can get started today by seeing if you qualify for financing, and we would be happy to talk with you about where you can place it and develop a game plan together. So now we're showing ourselves as the expert and the authority here where we can help them still, right? So if they really want a tiny home, they've been really thinking about it, but they're like, where do I place this? Maybe they don't want to place it in an RV park, or they don't know if they can. Maybe they don't know if they can place it on private property as an ADU or whatever, right? We're getting really into the technical components here, but with a deep understanding of our target audience, we're now able to get rid of some of those objections to get even more people to click through, right? So that's the breakdown of the ad copy here and exactly how it's applied. And we literally, that exact framework is exactly what's in this ebook, right? And then we go on to the last part, or the second to last part, let me correct myself, and that is the call to action button. And in this case, it is learn more, which is the one we almost always recommend for our campaigns. It's the one we found to be the most consistently successful in regards to you just plug it in and it almost always works. Sometimes you can add buttons that will decrease the cost per click, or I'm sorry, will decrease the number of clicks and increase the cost per click. And you ultimately don't want to do that, right? Unless you're being very specific about, only specific people coming through. But a lot of times you're actually losing more people than you're gaining. So you want to just start with the learn more button, but you can test a bunch of other ones. Other ones that we've seen that work really well are sign up, get offer, things like that. So ultimately the button isn't going to make or break your campaign. Those first three elements, the ad creative, the image or video, the headline, and then the ad copy are going to be the most important parts of a successful ad. However, you then have the learn more button here. And then the description, which is kind of the icing on the cake, that ultimately is not going to make or break your campaign unless you give people a way to keep scrolling, right? So if they read the headline and then they look down and it says something that immediately disqualifies them, they then go, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to keep on scrolling, right? I have no reason to read your copy. I have no reason to click through to learn more. Instead, it's just like, oh, this isn't me. Or that that just like gave me a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm just going to keep scrolling. So a really good thing to do is to reiterate your offer or headline, and or just say something along the lines of like 5-star rated company or licensed and insured contractor or something like that, right? Something really simple that doesn't immediately give them away to just keep scrolling and go on beyond your ad. So ultimately, that is the breakdown of a successful Facebook ad. Exactly how we go over it in our home improvement lead generation secrets book. You can actually, I'll include a link under this video where you can actually go and get it, where for a limited time, we're actually only giving it away for $3.95. Super, super cheap, super valuable, has 100% money back guarantee. So if you just completely hate it, we'll go ahead and give you your money back. But I think you're going to get a lot of value from it. This breakdown of exactly how to create an ad is only one component of the entire book. It's jam-packed with pretty much everything that we have learned in our years of running ads for home improvement businesses, from offers to how to design a website to Google ads to Facebook ads, even to email marketing. So it covers a wide just array of a bunch of different components of your marketing, and it is super, super valuable. So I'll include the link to that below. But otherwise, this is how you create a successful Facebook ad. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this. So until next time, see you then.